Hello, my friends, and welcome again to stately Vaughan Manor. And by now you're asking yourselves, doubtlessly, what is that terrible creature in your arms? It's pretty frightening. And you're probably wondering, is it some sort of freakish mutant monkey? No. No, it's something far worse. This is a creature from another world. Yes. Proof. Proof of extraterrestrial life. Right here in my arms. Right? Aren't you a terrifying monster? Aren't you a terrifying monster? Terrifying monster, obviously. Okay, my little friend, go and kill some people. Yes, go and murder. All right. Okay, well, I'm not just here to show you aliens. You might doubt that was an alien, but really, trust me, it was an alien. You know I'm speaking the truth because you're seeing this here on YouTube, the most reliable home for accurate information. I'm actually here today to do the content creator tag, which is something that I normally would never do because I've been on YouTube for a week and it seems a little strange to be doing that, but I was tagged by Steve Donaghue. And when Steve Donaghue tags you, you do the tag. So that's what we're going to do today. Looks like there are 7 questions here, so let's do it. Question number 1, what made you decide to become a content creator? That's a good question. I first discovered BookTube a little over a year ago. I remember it was before the ghastly plague. And I was just searching for a book. I can't remember which book it was. And Steve Donaghue actually popped up. Actually, every time I looked for any information on any book, Steve Donaghue would pop up. It turns out Steve Donaghue has 5,000 videos. So that's probably why. But I started watching them, and they were pretty cool. And he, of course, introduced me to some other booktubers, and I watched them, and kind of thought about, I wonder if, I can't do that. But then, not too long ago, I was watching a video from Shay, and it was the, what was it? It was the BookTube backstage tag that Shay did. And at some point during that video, I thought, you know, maybe I could do this. Maybe I can give this a try. So if you don't like what you've seen on this channel, don't blame me. It's not my fault. Blame Shay. It's all Shay's fault. So there you go. Blame him. But that's the answer to question number 1. Question number 2, biggest accomplishment. Well, that's a tough one because I've worked very hard to avoid all adult responsibility my entire life. And so I've pretty much managed in my lifetime to never accomplish anything, which is kind of an accomplishment. Well, anyway, I might not have any real accomplishments. There are a couple, if we're just talking about the YouTube channel, the BookTube channel, well, like I said, I've been here a whole week, and you can, of course, check out my videos and bask in their splendor, and obviously, yeah, I guess that's a mighty accomplishment in itself. But in the rest of my life, there are a couple things that, if they're not accomplishments, at least I'm glad I did them. For a very long time, I worked with autistic adults, and while many, if not most, autistic adults are able to get through their lives and manage society just as well as the rest of us, there are some people who do need help. And so that's what I did. I helped. And I did that for 8 years, a little over 8 years or something. And I'm happy I did it because I was able to directly help somebody every day. Maybe in small ways, but at least I was of direct help to somebody who needed help. every day. So that's something that I'm glad that I did. I'm glad I had the opportunity to do that. Of course, eventually I had to move on and do something else because you do not make any money at all doing that. And so at some point I decided, probably need to start making a little bit of money doing something. So I moved on. I miss it, but I did move on. I mean, after all, an estate of this size, it can be kind of expensive. You know, all these servants and, my valet, he's not going to pay for himself. So definitely I needed to move on and do something else. Another thing that I did fairly recently, just last year, during the plague, myself and a colleague were asked to put aside our regular duties and work as coordinators for a COVID test site. And so we worked at the test site, and we also did mobile testing. We would go out to different locations, senior centers, large businesses, and we would test employees. And so I'm glad I did that because, when I look back on this awful time, at least when I look back on it, I can look back and think, well, at least I did something to help during that time. I was of some use, if only in a small way, during this horrible crisis. So, while not a great accomplishment, I'm glad I did it. So that's the answer to those. Do you struggle? This is number 3. Do you struggle with social media? If you're saying, do I struggle using it? Yeah, I'm technically inadequate. So anything technical, I struggle. As far as if I have a problem, I don't think so. I don't use Twitter. Out of context statements on Twitter just seem to get people in trouble. So probably best to stay away from that. Let's see. Number 4, which content creator inspires you the most? I already mentioned Steve Donaghue. Probably him. He inspires me a lot just because he's really interesting. He's a professional book reviewer, and he's read pretty much every book that's ever been written, with maybe a few exceptions. Interesting guy. Apparently he doesn't sleep. He just spends all his time reading and writing and making YouTube videos and walking his dog. So it sounds pretty much like the perfect life. So living the dream. Way to go, man. Let's see. What else we got? What frustrates you the most about other content creators? Not too much. I think on YouTube, at least, which is where I see all the content, the only thing I find even slightly frustrating are commercials. Now, I'm not going to get on anybody's case for monetizing their channel because these are tough times, and if you need the extra cash, do what you need to do. I don't know how much money you'd make doing that, but it seems like such a horrible thought for me that if I would be talking and in the middle of a sentence a commercial would pop up, which is what happens. You will never see that on this glorious channel. I would rather die than monetize my channel. It will never happen. No way. But like I said, it doesn't frustrate me too much. What does frustrate me a little bit, and again, I have no right to be frustrated by this, is when you're watching a video, and I haven't seen this too much in booktube videos, but I have seen it, where you click on the video and you're waiting for them to talk about whatever you want them to talk about, and all of a sudden they'll stop and they'll pull out like a wallet, and they'll be like, okay, let me sell you this fantastic wallet. It's fantastic metal. Look, it's metal. It has room for credit cards, and it has room for oh, it doesn't have room for cash. Sorry, no room for cash in this little metal box for credit. Listen, guys. Again, I have no right to talk, but my advice to you is, if somebody says to you, hey, will you take the time out of your videos and you yourself sell this little metal box for credit cards or whatever other weird item they might want you to sell, say no. Just say no. Now again, you might be saying to yourself, well, that's easy for you to say, Mike. I mean, you with your vast estate and your dozens of servants and your own personal rocket ship out in the backyard. Okay, all of that is true. But still, there are some lines you should not cross, in my opinion. And that is a line you should not cross. I think if you're that hard up for money, I don't know, become a mime. It's more dignified. What other questions do we have here? What frustrates you the most about your own content? It's pretty low tech. You know, I figured out basically how to put text on the screen, and if I wanted to, I can put little pictures on it. But I figured that stuff out. I'm not going to do it probably because I like the low tech. I mean, let's face it. My tripod is a rubber band and a coat rack, and you know, it's probably not going to get much more technical than that. I haven't had too many frustrations yet. So, but again, it's been a week, so we'll see. And this is the last question here. How do you motivate yourself to keep going? Well, it's pretty tough. You know, I have to really psych myself up to talk about books, man. It's rough. I manage though, for you. For you, I do it. It's not because I'm just a narcissist who likes to talk and see myself on screen. No, that's not it. No, I love to talk about books. I love books and reading, and if I can connect with other people, even a few people, hey, that's great, and I'm happy to do it. I don't know if I will ever need motivation to keep going. So that was my tag. I'm going to try to put some links in the description box. A couple links there. I want to link the video that I saw when Steve Donaghue tagged me. More people should see Steve Donaghue. I'm going to try to link to that. I'm going to try to link to Shay. It's all his fault. This is all his fault. And so you should go see his BookTube backstage tag. I'm going to try to link that if I can get the links to work. And I think, I'm new at this, but I think the tradition is that if you get tagged, you tag somebody else. I think that's how this game is played. And so I would tag David at David's Book Reviews. He's been doing this for a little while, I think, and he's got some cool book reviews. And so, David, I don't think you've done this before. So if you haven't done it, boom, tagged. And I will, again, like I said, attempt to put a link in the description box below. If they're not there, it's just because I'm so technically inadequate that I didn't manage it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that was the content creator tag. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Tomorrow, I'm going to fulfill my promise, and we will go back to the vault of ancient science fiction, where we will see fun things like this, which I found in the vault. A Jules Verne novel that I've never read. How about that? Master of the World. Yes, Master of the World, and there's Vincent Price on the cover looking back over his shoulder and saying, who the hell are you guys? What are you doing on my airship? So I will pull out some treasures like that tomorrow. Be here. It'll be fantastic. Thank you once again for joining me at Stately Vaughan Manor. And I will see you again next time. Bye, guys.